to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at comprehending art, but mostly we're poor at making art. My name's Benj.
I'm Isaac. And it is true that art is incomprehensible at times.
Mm-hmm. But remember when we did those famous artists' paintings?
You mean where that one artist drew himself as a snail and then drew someone on top of the snail shell?
Yeah.
And that was supposedly
his wife.
Or was it like his student drew that? Or...
Yeah, it wasn't him that drew it.
You know, it's so incomprehensible. I don't even know who drew it.
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody drew it.
Yeah. But also everything that artist actually drew was also incomprehensible.
Yeah, it's very true.
And then you had me draw like a head of a lady. That like it was a Picasso. I mean, just saying Picasso, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that's incomprehensible."
Incomprehensible is true. And this week we are rethinking the incomprehensible. Well, rather, we're going to draw the title, "Rethinking the Incomprehensible."
Yes, we don't have to rethink anything incomprehensible.
Nope.
But we might while drawing it.
After you see our art, you might find it incomprehensible. And then that might cause you to rethink why you're watching us. But yes, we're not there yet. Nope. Where to start today? I'm going to start with something that is truly wonderful.
Truly wonderful.
You'll agree with me once you see what I'm going for here. Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yes. Dr. Pepper is truly wonderful.
One of the few things on earth that's just
drawing it because
perfect.
It's incomprehendibly good.
It is, yeah, like you taste it and you're like, where has this been my whole life? Yep. And then you're like, I'm being a little dramatic because I just had it yesterday. But
and like every day.
And every day. For your whole, yeah. But you get that feeling like it's like something this good shouldn't exist.
Yep. You know how like you walk into Quick Trip or Circle K or wherever it is, Sheets, you know, wherever it is you go to get your
Sheets.
Yeah,
is that a convenience store?
Yeah.
Where?
They're not in Arizona.
Oh,
but they're popular.
I think like 7-Eleven might be like the most famous.
Yeah, I guess around the world. But wherever you go to get your soda, and you know how you can just like tell, you know, someone walks into the store, walks up to the soda machine, and you're just like, that guy's getting Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, because he looks like a good, upstanding citizen.
Yes.
You'd like to just shake his hand and give him a slap on the back and say, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And then like other people, you're like, oh yeah, that guy's getting Pepsi.
That's a
or
Pepsi
Coke
man.
Or something.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I would never look at him.
You can respect the Coke man. You're like, all right, Coca-Cola's, you know, it's a classic. You're making a bad decision.
Yeah.
But you're not like.
But it's a bad decision that's been made for a long time by many people.
It's not like someone was like, "We're gonna take Coke and make it worse, and then we're gonna drink it."
Yeah,
on purpose. That's Pepsi, people.
Yeah. Also, Pepsi has a rather large military, which is just curious.
Yeah, go do that Google search sometime. It is quite interesting.
Which, to my understanding, Mormons own Pepsi, like the religious group.
Do they?
So doesn't, I mean, I may be wrong, but wouldn't that also mean that they then have a military?
That would be pretty peculiar, I'll admit.
Now, it's not as weird as we're making it sound. They have a military. It's specifically a navy, and it has to do with the fact that like they were being like pirates were attacking their ships during deliveries, and they like hired people to stop them. But it's still weird that a soda company has, you know, a military.
Yeah, that is really weird, I'll admit. The real weird thing, though, is why anybody
who has tasted Dr. Pepper doesn't always order Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that is weird.
We have friends. I call them friends, but
They can't be true friends.
I mean, they can't be as good of friends as I want them to be because they don't only drink Dr. Pepper. Like they have some
learning to do.
Yep. Yeah. Anytime I see someone who calls themselves my friend drink something that isn't Dr. Pepper,
I have slipped in the past.
I'll admit.
I think of them less.
That's a little harsh.
Mm-hmm. But it's the truth.
You know, and in this moment, I feel it.
Like that's entirely justified. Because now that I think about it, why would I ever drink something other than Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, like it's like when you have the best thing as an option, why have the second best? Whatever that second best thing might be. Just doesn't make sense.
It's true. It is
True. You've been to the Dr. Pepper factory or birthplace or
Yeah. In Dublin, Texas, where Dr. Pepper was first made, they have like a museum / like factory, and it's pretty interesting. Like it's a small. I mean, Dublin, Texas is very small, as a whole. But yeah, they have like this museum factory thing, and you can go there and take like a tour.
You were telling me a weird fact about this.
Yep, when we were taking the tour, they like were showing us some of the stuff, and then we like come up to like this one like poster, and they're like, if there's a fire here, just know that the firemen are saving this poster before you, because it's more important than the human life.
and then you're like,
Like the fire department has special things where it's like they have to send a like extra squad specifically to save like this poster if there's a fire at this place.
I feel like it's like happened in the past or something weird.
No, I think it's just like a standard thing, like it's a museum rule, like the art has to be saved. So they like send extra firemen to like save the art on top of like the people or whatever. But it's like because that procedure exists, it actually like technically puts the art as more important than the humans.
I'd like to think one day once our hotel opens that there'd be like, we have to specify this before you check in. But if the place burns down, they might rush into your room, but they're saving the art.
Yep. The art in your room is more important than you.
So like there's a healthy understanding, I think, of
Mm-hmm.
this guy's got chicken legs.
The other interesting fact is that factory, because technically they don't own Dr. Pepper anymore, but they have like the rights to like make Dr. Pepper.
What a wonderful thing.
So, but if you were to buy Dr. Pepper from them and then take it out of Dublin, Texas, then you would technically be smuggling because they're not legally allowed to distribute it.
What?
What other soda can say these things about it? Just speaks to how incredibly special it is.
Though when they make Dr. Pepper, they do make it with pure cane sugar because that was the original, recipe.
See, like there's certain things that I think it really depends on like what you grew up drinking. Like here in America, we grew up drinking like every soda with corn syrup because it's just cheaper here. And that's really the only reason.
Yeah, we have so much corn, we don't even know what to do with
it's
it.
Like it's no worse for you or better for you. It's just cheaper, so that's what they do. But when I tasted Dr. Pepper for the first time with cane sugar, I was like, this is just so much worse.
Yeah,
Because
something tastes better, something tastes worse. But it's just it's because it's gotten to a point where Dr. Pepper has become perfected. It's like the what we're drinking is not the original Dr. Pepper.
Well, no, of course not. That was more like medicinal.
Mm-hmm.
people still say Dr. Pepper tastes medicinal, and I just don't get it. I think it tastes like...
Yeah.
There are so many people who are like, I'll never drink Dr. Pepper. It just tastes like medicine. I'm like, have you tasted Pepsi?
Mm-hmm.
Because Pepsi is just that times 100.
I think they just see the word doctor and they're like, oh, it must be medicinal. The Dr. Pepper's history is the guy wanted to make a soda because he loved going to like the candy shop and like, you know, they had like the soda.
Yeah, like the
thing,
soda fountains back in the day.
and he loved like the smell of it. And he wanted to make a soda that smelled like the soda fountain.
You mean tasted like the soda fountain?
Well, yeah, it tasted like the soda fountain smelled.
Yeah.
Which is why it's almost like it's a mixture of every like soda, and why it has so many flavors to it. But I mean, he succeeded pretty good. The reason it's called Dr. Pepper is because he was in love with this girl, so he named it after her dad, who didn't approve of him, and he was a doctor.
Tricky.
And his last name was Pepper, so he named it Dr. Pepper. He never married that girl. He married someone else.
Tragic story indeed.
I don't know what these are. They're
old-timey soda fountains.
Okay. I was gonna say they're either like aliens wearing weird hats, or they're more inappropriate than that.
How dare you? They're definitely just old-timey soda fountains.
Okay.
I looked up old-timey soda fountain, and
Mhm.
it sort of kind of almost looked like these. So
Okay.
just trust.
If you say so.
Trust is needed here.
If you say so.
I do. Yeah.
This makes me think there should be more like themed stores.
What do you mean?
Well, like for example, I remember going to Disneyland and walking into Pizza Planet and being disappointed by the fact that it wasn't like the one in Toy Story, you know, where there's like alien mouths that squirt out the sodas and stuff like that. Like, you know, if you just like went into a convenience store and it was like old-timey themed and it's just like everything looks like it was from the past,
That would be
it
pretty
would
cool.
just be cool.
You're right.
Or if it was like alien themed and it's like everything looks like it's alien, like it wouldn't even be that much more expensive to make. You wouldn't have to like actually have alien technology.
You're probably right. That would be way cooler. Why don't they do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, even Disneyland doesn't do it well enough.
No, they don't do it
Like
well
they
enough.
call it Pizza Planet.
At some point, I remember they put one of those giant robots out front,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't like open and close the door. It just kind of like a statue.
Yeah. Like you watch Toy Story and you're like, everything that they show in Pizza Planet in Toy Story could be done
Mm-hmm.
easily. And then Six Flags is even worse. It's like, hey, you're in Star City Teen Titans Tower Pizza, and it's just like nothing about it even makes you think it's Teen Titans Pizza.
Does this guy look like a dork?
Yep, but I mean, so does the other guy. The other guy's spine has major issues.
Yeah, you know. That's just me.
This guy's nose is large and wiggly.
Thank you. That's what I was going for.
It's almost like I drew him,
It's true.
except the eyes are too beady. So,
This guy's
Are you-
pants
they don't match
don't
up.
fit quite right.
So, where I don't see the title yet in your drawing. Like, is Dr. Pepper incomprehensibly good? And they're like,
I mean, that is a fact. But
And-
okay, so like picture this, and this happens all the time.
Mhm.
when we go out with a certain friend of ours, or when we throw a party and a certain friend's like, "Oh, you got 2 liters of Dr. Pepper
And nothing else.
nothing else. Where's the Pepsi?" And we're just like, "Man, what? You need to just like go outside and rethink your words."
And then he's like wearing a Dr. Pepper shirt.
He did. He wore a Dr. Pepper shirt just yesterday. We saw him.
Yep.
Man. But imagine like going into a Dr. Pepper thing.
Wearing a
Wearing a Dr. Pepper shirt. Like, you know, like you're in the Dr. Pepper factory, right?
Yeah.
And then these words come out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, like you'd be like, "What the crap? Why are you here?"
Yeah. Yeah, like why'd you come to the Dr. Pepper factory?
Yeah, like why? I mean, and that's the thing. You say this when you go to the Dr. Pepper factory. You'd be like, "What's the matter with you?" But it's the same thing when you like go to, you know, like the grocery store.
Yeah.
And you're like, "There's Pepsi and there's Dr. Pepper." You're basically in the Dr. Pepper factory.
Yeah.
It's bottled. It's wonderful, and you're
Yep.
choosing Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's terrible.
like I don't care if Pepsi's twice the or half the price.
Yeah.
It does something to you. Yeah. So this guy, he works there. In case you couldn't tell.
Yeah. I mean, there's basically nothing to differentiate
He has
those two guys.
He has a hat that makes him
yes,
official.
hats. Yep.
You need to rethink.
Yes. Now I see the whole picture, the whole title. Rethinking the Incomprehensible. Because
when you're in the face of incomprehensible good, like Dr. Pepper, you don't do something incomprehensible, like
yes.
order something else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I see this title come to fruition.
Good. You know, I don't know what else is in the Dr. Pepper factory. I assume there's like soda fountains. What else is there?
I mean, there's just like a lot of it's the old like ads for Dr. Pepper.
You said there's like art, I'm sure. Like
yeah. Like old ads and posters and Dr. Pepper related things. Dr. Pepper used to advertise, like one way they advertised is like, I'm trying to remember the times, but it was like 8 and 2, and like that's like what their advertisement was. It was just like a clock.
8 and 2?
Yeah, and it was like these are the times that people statistically need caffeine the most.
Oh, interesting.
And like that's like, oh, is it 2? Grab a Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that's quite interesting, actually.
And 8, you know, 8 like 8 in the morning. But they like advertised to drink your Dr. Pepper warm. Like they used to sell like mug heaters for Dr. Pepper, and you would like warm it up and drink it in the morning.
You'd probably like that, actually.
Probably.
It sounds horrible, though. But you also drink warm drinks more than you should.
I should.
Which is like a lot.
It's literally better for you to drink warm drinks than cold, so I don't know what this should be that you're referencing.
I mean, it's also better to drink not Dr. Pepper, but I'm not stopping anytime soon.
No, that's wrong.
You're right. I took it too far. I'm sorry.
There's good, and then there's good.
Yep, you know, you couldn't have said it more clearly. So let this be a lesson to you, in case you're looking for a lesson in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I often don't turn on art channels on YouTube looking for a lesson, but it's amazing how often you find one.
Yes.
Usually it's, I shouldn't have been watching this artist. Should have done something more with my time. But if you haven't quite learned that lesson yet, learn this one. Don't order Pepsi when you could order Dr. Pepper.
Yes. Or ever, really. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
like-
if you're faced with like we have Pepsi or water,
mhm.
that's when you're like, you know what?
Water's healthy.
Water's healthy, and it's not worth drinking all
Yeah.
this soda,
Mhm.
you know, all this junk they
Yeah.
put in soda just for a
Mhm.
Pepsi.
Yeah.
If Dr. Pepper and Pepsi are equally bad for you, like health wise, just remember that Dr. Pepper is better for your soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I found that like if Dr. Pepper's not an option, I usually drink milk or water.
Yeah.
Like I don't, because it's like I'm not going to poison my body with soda if it's not Dr. Pepper.
I can't end this drawing without talking about one of the most egregious offenses to this ever, and that's Costco.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Costco and they have Pepsi.
Yeah.
They have Pepsi and Sierra Mist.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, Costco.
Yep.
What are you... Because that's the other thing that's annoying at Costco. You get a hot dog there,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes with a drink for basically free.
Right.
So then you go over to the soda fountain, and you're like,
Well, I guess I'll just throw this cup
I
away.
guess, like, is it worth getting... I'll admit, I wanted some caffeine, and it's the only drink there with caffeine. So I got that at Costco not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time, you know how like you walk from the food court to the exit and they like check all your stuff and look at your receipt for some reason? By the time I got out the door, I threw away the Pepsi because I was like, it's just not
like,
worth it.
Yeah, you drink a couple sips and
You're like,
it's
yeah,
just not...
I got some caffeine in me.
They used to have Coke.
Yeah.
And when they had Coke, they originally also had Pib Extra, which is worse than Dr. Pepper.
In every way. But
It's so much better than
the second
everything
best
else.
soda.
Yeah. And then they got rid of Pib Extra, and they at least had Sprite, and I was like, okay, I can drink Sprite.
yeah.
Like
Sierra Mist.
Mist is just worse than Sprite.
It's so much worse.
Yeah, like 7-Up is the best of those because
I do like
it's
7-Up.
made by Dr. Pepper.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason.
Yeah. Everything they make is better, except for clamato juice.
They make clamato juice?
Oh yes.
Oh, that's a dark
Yeah.
secret
It's
in
the
the
Dr. Pepper
in the
Snapple
Dr.
company.
Pepper.
So it was the Snapple company that made clamato juice, and Dr. Pepper bought out Snapple.
I thought Pepsi bought out Snapple.
No,
Oh,
it's the Dr. Pepper
I must
Snapple
be thinking
company.
of something else. Interesting.
Yep.
That's a dark secret.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
we don't talk about it much. It's Dr. Pepper and 7-Up is basically what they'd make.
only a company as wonderful as the Dr. Pepper company could make clamato juice and me not like run screaming from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't advertise it.
Of course not. Who advertises clamato juice? You find an ad
Like,
for
who's
that.
buying clamato juice?
you
Like,
find
why is it sold?
Yeah, who's like, I'd like this tomato juice. It's good for me.
Like,
But you know, it'd be better if I squeezed a clam into it.
Like, what are you even supposed to do with
what
it?
the heck?
Like, bathe in it when you get a skunk?
I'll smell like clams, but at least I won't smell like skunks.
And then I'll bathe in vinegar to get the tomato
The juice
slam
of
out.
the juice of any sea creature should not be consumed. You can buy it in like convenience stores too. I see it sometimes, and I'm like, who's going to like Circle K?
Yeah, just like buy like a small pre-cooled bottle of it.
Clam and tomato juice.
Oh, it's so gross.
I would be willing to bet if you get sprayed by a skunk and you bathed in Dr. Pepper, you'd get a girlfriend.
Yep. Or, yeah.
Like,
Or whatever good thing you're waiting for.
yeah, whatever it is. It's like the instant, like, it solves the miracle bath. All right, get over here and draw.
Okay.
So what's more incomprehensible than choosing something other than the nectar of the gods?
A Lovecraftian horror.
You know, that's a fair point.
But that's not what I'm drawing.
Oh.
Mostly because, by very definition, that's impossible to draw.
People have attempted it.
Okay, well, this guy's eyes are weird. Like, he's not looking the direction I was planning to
He
have him
looks
look.
so sad.
But he's got a big smile.
Oh, okay. Now his face is confusing as heck. He's also like,
Gotta-
is he bending over?
Gotta give him, like,
What? Oh, it's like Elvis. His hair is amazing.
Yeah, I got to give him a good haircut.
Man.
He's weird otherwise.
Yeah, no, it all makes sense now. That hair has more personality than his eyes ever could.
Okay, and then you got to give him an arm.
It is the. I'm not saying everyone has one, but it's, most people have arms.
Yes. Yes, they do.
You don't know what a Lovecraftian horror is, by the way. I feel the need to. I feel the need to explain that.
Oh,
So-
are there people that don't?
I mean, we reach a wide audience. That was a good joke. But no, I love. There's an author, 150 years ago or so, named H.P. Lovecraft, and he basically created his own mythos, his own mythology, where he explained that there were these. He wrote that there were these creatures that lived, eons before humans, and they settled on the earth, deep in the earth or in the ocean, and then people have interactions with them, on Earth. And the whole concept is when someone sees them, they basically go insane just by seeing them, because they can't comprehend what they're seeing, because it's so beyond
Human comprehension.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Just keep using
use the word.
same
I was
word.
trying to explain it, but that's basically it. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
he wrote a bunch of books like the Call of Cthulhu. He wrote The Thing at the Doorstep and Mountains of Madness, where they're all just stories of people having encounters with these things and going crazy, and people investigating them, and then the people on Earth who worship them, and they're just crazy. So that's what they are.
Mm-hmm. This is a straight door.
I mean, not a door that's been through an earthquake. 2 earthquakes.
It's open.
It looks like someone just peeled back the wall.
Yeah, I'm not good at drawing.
What? Don't say that.
We went out to eat today for lunch,
We often do.
and Isaac drew something, and I drew something, and then one of our friends drew something, and the waitress came over and said, "You guys can all draw, huh?" And
The problem was our friend
can draw.
can draw. Yeah, she's talented.
So
I think that's the word for it.
One amongst us
Yeah.
could draw.
It felt weird to be grouped in with her at the table, though. I'll admit.
Mhm.
I was like, what? I mean,
It's no, we're not gonna tell her no, right?
yeah, you can't disagree with her. That would be rude.
Yeah, she can draw.
It was also just sort of hurtful, though, in a complimentary kind of way. It's we're poor artists, lady. I felt like saying,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we're not at the point where we could draw this picture and leave it instead of paying the bill, because you'd be, thrilled and rich by
Yeah.
selling our drawing on the kids menu.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah, we'll get there one day, maybe. Because that's the thing, you can be a poor artist and still be famous. We've proved this recently, because we're poor artists, and now we're poor professional artists, because we've sold 2 of our pieces.
Mm-hmm.
3 of our pieces, actually. But that doesn't mean we're good.
Right.
Again, apparently you don't have to be good. That's what our channel's all about.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being poor artists. But also, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't have to be good
As long as you're
at everything you do.
as long as you have a style,
Mhm.
and you're very particular about that style, or the medium that you're using, then that's apparently all that matters.
Okay. So we've got this scenario that I'm setting up.
Is the man
And this will be
opening the freezer to get the
some
bacon
lady.
out?
This is the worst looking haircut.
What is that?
It's like it's a
Is it like a wig on the floor?
no. This is what one of my humans looks like from behind.
What? Why are they down there and why are they just ahead?
Well, they're not just ahead. That's just all I've drawn so far.
What? Why are they underneath? She's a broad-shouldered gal.
Don't question.
Yeah, no, she's got a good head on those shoulders, as they say. I think that means you're smart, right? A good head on your shoulder, like you're set up for success.
Yes.
But I'd say you have a head and shoulders.
You found
Were they looking for something?
the. I don't know why the T's capitalized.
Found the jackpot? Is this like one of them game shows?
Yeah, exactly. Like one of those find the doors. Found the jackpot door with, like I don't know what, like
So
one.
those strips of bacon were money?
Yeah, money.
$1.
$1 million. I don't. Is that how you spell million?
It looks good.
I've-
Yeah, no,
I've never had to use
You did it right.
currency
You
at that.
did it right, yeah.
That height before.
How many things in your daily life actually go up to millions?
Yeah,
You know?
like nothing.
Like most bank accounts aren't. Hopefully your debt doesn't come that close.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like this person has comprehended which door to open.
Mm-hmm. The other door
Are they rethinking it?
might have $50 or a cat.
Oh no!
That was a mistake.
Man!
There was no way to save
What does that
that.
say? Wowed?
Would
If you say so.
you like to
So let me get this straight. She can
Trade
choose the $1 million or $50
doors?
and a cat. Like, there's no good side. Oh, I can hear the audience going, boo! What the heck's the matter with you? What is she doing?
Show me the cat.
No, wait. He's trading the $1 million for a cat.
The possibility of a cat. It might be $50.
just like a normal cat,
Yep, nothing special about it.
like a cat.
It's like you're playing this game and it's like one door. It's like there's like multiple doors. We only see two here, but there's like multiple doors, right?
Mhm.
And it's like she already found the jackpot.
So there's
door.
like 3 doors.
Yeah.
The $50 door, the
Like
cat door, and the $1 million door.
And so it's like, so she opened the first door and it has the $1 million in it. And it's like, okay, well now you can choose to give up that door to open this other door. Your last chance.
You know.
You could have. And she's just like, yep, I'll give up $1 million for the 50-50 chance of a cat.
I'd much rather have the $50 than the cat. Because $50 can get you unlimited cats.
Yeah.
Because people
We'll give you
will
cats
give
for
you
free.
cat. I was at a store the other day and there were just people handing out cats out front. Like, please, take them.
As long as it's not with me.
Yeah, please take them before I have to raise them, like, before they take my soul.
Yeah, everybody knows. Like people, I mean, some people think that cats have 9 lives, but in reality,
Only if they steal them.
yeah, cats have to collect 9 souls before they're allowed back into the underworld.
You see, isn't it funny how obvious facts like that get, jumbled up in society?
Corrupted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Such an obvious thing if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, we got to, we've got to take the cat door.
Mm-hmm. It's been chosen.
You can just see it in the host's eyes.
He's like rolling. He's like rolling his eyes.
Like, oh
Like,
my gosh.
He's like trying to like look towards the door. He's like, you're not supposed to pick that.
Yeah, like I have to say this, but no one ever like.
No one's done this.
I'm also really worried about her eyes because we're looking at the back of her head, and somehow we can still see her eyeball.
That's just how humans look.
It's coming out of her head like it is. It's like in a cartoon where they've stretched or melted so far that from the back of her head we can see the eyeball. Like it's popped out and turned. Like she looks like she can see us standing behind her.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen my drawings. Look, you've seen their eyes.
Man,
You can just imagine what they would look like from behind. It's this.
so if there's another lesson to be learned from this drawing, it's any amount of money is better than a cat.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I'm claiming. And $1 million is definitely better than a cat.
You know how many cats you could get for $1 million? I mean, it wouldn't matter because they'd
like clearly in this game, the cat is supposed to be like the bad price.
of course,
Like the negative.
It's
like,
like-
oh, you got.
It's
you
like
got
when
the
they used to
cat.
do like a goat behind the door or something, and you're like, a goat? Who would ever want a goat?
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, like they don't even have a cat, probably. Like
Yeah.
it's like an old 26-year-old cat that's been behind door number 3 for its
like
entire life.
It's just like the show's cat. That's just like always been
Yeah,
there.
like it's always been there.
Like you're supposed to just like turn it down when
Yeah,
you see
like
it.
even if you win the cat, you're like, no, I'm not taking it home with me. It's a big commitment, and I like my life, so
Yep.
we're really big cat people. In case you can't tell.
Yeah, like I wouldn't really want any pets
No,
because it's like you have to take care of them.
my favorite pet is my robot vacuum
Mm-hmm.
because it works just like a regular pet. It
Yeah.
goes around your house, it sleeps, it eats, and you have to clean up after it. But cleaning up after it is just emptying it
cleaning
out
after
after
you.
it cleaned your entire house for you. It's like
Yeah.
the exact opposite of what a normal pet does.
Yeah, like reptiles and fish are somewhat fine because you have to feed them, but they don't make noise. They don't really make much of a mess
Exactly.
other than where you have them. But like other things where it's like you have to clean up after them, and if you leave them too long, they'll like make a mess and destroy
Dogs
things.
and cats. Dogs will eat everything in your house.
Mm-hmm.
They'll eat everything you love. They'll eat your furniture.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not careful, they'll eat your couch. Like
Yep.
it just happens
Mhm.
often. Like you have either had a dog eat your couch or know someone whose dog has eaten someone's couch. Like
Yeah.
inexplicably.
Mhm.
Just ate their couch. My parents' dog growing up climbed onto their bed one day and just dug a hole through their mattress.
Yeah.
Like just out of the blue.
Mhm.
Like nuts.
Yeah.
Cats, they will scratch everything in your house to death.
Yeah, and it's
They
like,
will then wake you up at 2 a.m. every day for no reason.
and you like try to feed them and they'll like scratch you,
Yes.
and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
What
Like,
happened to don't bite the hand that feeds you?
yeah, it bites everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously there's a certain amount of companionship you can get, but it's like I'd rather have companions, human.
I'd rather
friends.
have a robot vacuum.
I'd rather have Dr. Pepper and $1 million.
You know what? I think you're right. I can comprehend that decision. Until next time.
Goodbye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.